The knuckleball, the most fascinating pitch in all of baseball. Remember times in your childhood attempting to throw one? How successful did that go? Then came R.A. Dickey, who dominated baseball in 2012 at age 37 and became the oldest first-time Cy Young winner in MLB history, one of the most unlikely breakouts the sport has ever seen. Dickey struck out more batters in 2012 at age 37 than he did through his first 6 seasons combined at age 33. How did he do it, and why will we never see anything like this ever again? The knuckleball dates back to over 100 years ago, as it's recorded that Charles Drury taught the pitch to Eddie Rommel, who ended up leading the league in wins twice in his career from 1920 to 1932 for the Philadelphia A's. It was originally thrown by holding the ball with the knuckles, of course, but Tim Wakefield also popularized the fingertip grip during his 19-year career. Very few pitchers in the history of baseball have been able to throw this pitch in a game, and even fewer were able to master the pitch. Two of the greatest knuckleballers of all time date back to the mid-1900s. Willem was an 8-time All-Star and won 2 ERA titles as he was a dominant force out of the bullpen for most of his career and pitched 21 years until age 49. He went down as one of the most dominant pitchers of his era, and at that time, arguably the most dominant knuckleballer the game had ever seen. Niekro was a 5-time All-Star and also won an ERA title, but he was a primary starter. He pitched until he was about 48, a 24-year career, and just like Willem, has a spot right in Cooperstown. Decades later, longtime Red Sox pitcher Tim Wakefield was able to pitch with a primary knuckleball, as he was good enough to even place top 3 in Cy Young voting in 1995. Truly special in a modern era. The rest of his career, though, Wakefield was a relatively mediocre pitcher, but he did pitch a long time. But what R.A. Dickey did was something on a completely different level. Robert Allen Dickey was good enough that he was drafted out of high school in 1993, but the Nashville kid decided to opt out and take his talents to the University of Tennessee. Dickey thrived as the hometown kid, as he went on to have a 38-10 record with a 3.4 ERA, while also being a 3-time All-American and being named 1994 Baseball America's Freshman of the Year, while also in the process leading Tennessee to 3 SEC titles. In 1996, Dickey was finally selected with the 18th overall pick by the Texas Rangers. He was also good enough to pitch for Team USA in 1996, helping lead them to a bronze medal finish. Clearly, all seemed to be going great for the young R.A. Dickey. For the matter of fact, in 1997, he even got married. But his baseball career was very soon in major jeopardy. A Rangers team physician noticed something off with Dickey's right arm in a picture, which led the team to further evaluate the potential issue. They discovered damage in Dickey's right elbow joint. He didn't have a UCL. Yes, you heard that correctly. Dickey did not have a UCL in his right arm. The Rangers then reduced their initial signing bonus from nearly $1 million at $825K down to $75K. Dickey has been quoted as saying, "Doctors look at me and say I shouldn't be able to turn a doorknob without feeling pain." Dickey made his way through the minors, nothing crazy, never a highly touted prospect as his career went on. But, finally, in 2001, he made his debut for the Texas Rangers. Dickey pitched 12 innings and 4 appearances, showing nothing flashy. His style of pitching featured a high 80s fastball, breaking ball, and the occasional forkball, which was a unique pitch for him at the time. But, fast forward to the end of the 2005 season, R.A. Dickey realized he wasn't having much success, especially due to his declining stuff and realization of the joint issues in his elbow. Dickey was bouncing around up and down and could not find success at the professional level, posting ERA above 5 in each of his seasons with over 1.5 whip. That's when Dickey decided in 2006 spring training he was going to make the nearly impossible transition to perfecting the knuckleball. Coaches said Dickey's unique forkball was like an accelerated knuckleball, so this would make the very difficult transition somewhat possible for the 31-year-old pitcher. It would give him a different skill set and would be able to extend his career. At the start of the 2006 season, Dickey was named the 5th starter for the Texas Rangers, but gave up 6 home runs in his debut with the pitch. Dickey would then be demoted to AAA by the team, as this would be his last start with the Texas Rangers. From 2007 to 2009, Dickey continued to struggle as he attempted to master the knuckleball. He had brief stints with the Seattle Mariners and the Minnesota Twins, where he also continued to bounce around and struggle. On August 17, 2008, Dickey even tied the record for most wild pitches in an inning with 4. Success was coming far from easy for the former first-round pick. As entering 2010, Dickey was already 35 years old. His career seemed to be over, another failed knuckleballer, and a pitcher who had talent but injuries derailed his career. But R.A. Dickey simply wasn't done yet. In 2010, the New York Mets signed R.A. Dickey to a minor league deal and assigned him to AAA in Buffalo. After 8 starts with the Bison, Dickey, the 35-year-old, had a 2.23 ERA and near 1 WHIP, forcing the Mets to give him the call and allow him to make his Mets debut on May 19, 2010. R.A. Dickey pitched well, going 6 innings, giving up 5 hits and 2 earned runs. His next start, on May 25th against Philadelphia Phillies, Dickey went 6 innings again, giving up 9 hits, walking 3, and striking out 7, in an 8-0 shutout for his first victory as a Met. Dickey continued to be a consistent piece of the shallow Mets rotation until he truly broke out on August 13, 2010. Dickey again was up against the division rival Philadelphia Phillies and threw a complete game 1-hit shutout, as the only hit was surrendered to the Philadelphia Phillies starter that day, Cole Hamels. It cemented Dickey finally asserting himself to the major league level. He finished the 2010 season with a 2.84 ERA, which put him in the top 10 in all of baseball. It's symbolic of the Mets for one of their only bright spots that year, being a 35-year-old knuckleballer. Dickey ended up posting career highs in 2010 in games started, wins, complete games, innings pitched, strikeouts, ERA, WHIP, and batting average against. This was good enough for Dickey to earn a 2-year extension worth over $7 million with a team option in 2013. R.A. Dickey continued to shine on a disappointing Mets team in 2011. Even with the record of 8-13, his 3.28 ERA was good for 12th in the NL, but no one could prepare us for what we were going to witness in 2012. Going into May that season, Dickey had a 4.45 ERA. He was having a decent season, derailed from one poor start against the Atlanta Braves, where he gave up 8 runs. He started the month with an absolutely dominant 8-inning performance against the Arizona Diamondbacks, giving up 1 run and 4 hits. He finished May with back-to-back double-digit strikeout games against the Pirates and Padres, becoming the first Met since Pedro Martinez to accomplish the feat, allowing 1 run in 14 1/3 innings, allowing Dickey to earn NL Player of the Week and conclude the month with a sub-2 ERA. I've never seen anything like this. Never. I've seen some dominant pitching, but nothing like what he's going through right now, Mets manager Terry Collins remarked. One of the greatest knuckleballers of all time, Phil Niekro, also stated, "I had a few streaks, but nothing like what he's going through. I don't know if any other knuckleballer has ever been on a hot streak like he has been on. He is just dynamite right now." Little did we know, R.A. Dickey was just getting started. In June, he pitched in 6 starts and went scoreless in 5 of those starts with 3 complete games. On June 13th, he threw a 1-hitter against the Tampa Bay Rays, as his 1 hit was very questionable, as David Wright made a play that Dickey even appealed to the MLB for an error, which he was denied. You thought he was done? Nope. In his very next start, on June 18th, against the Baltimore Orioles, he threw another 1-hitter, becoming the first pitcher since 1988 with back-to-back 1-hit shutouts. He also became the 3rd pitcher in MLB history to have 2 complete game 1-hitters with 12 or more strikeouts in a single season, alongside the all-time greats Sandy Koufax and Nolan Ryan, and the first and only pitcher in the history of baseball to ever do it in back-to-back starts. He finished the month with a 5-0 record and .93 ERA. He also set a Mets franchise record of 32 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. He was named Player of the Month and was selected to his first ever All-Star game at age 37. He was the MLB leader in wins and had one of the most dominant months in the history of baseball. He was having one of the most unlikely dominances as well. Who ever saw this coming? He was also the only pitcher in Major League history to have 5 consecutive starts without giving up any earned runs, while still getting at least 8 strikeouts in each game. Truly, truly remarkable. Dickey's knuckleball was unique because he was able to throw it at multiple different velocities. Sometimes he would throw the knuckleball in the low 70s, but his power knuckler was able to throw around 80 miles an hour. In comparison, Tim Wakefield's knuckleball sat in the mid-60s. Dickey would throw his mixed variation of the pitch over 80% of the time, with the occasional fastball and breaking ball to keep hitters even more off balance. Dickey was able to do this because, mentioned earlier, his ability to throw his forkball early in his career, which he was able to correlate with his ability to throw the knuckleball. Dickey finished the 2012 season with a 2.73 ERA and led baseball in innings pitched and strikeouts with 5 complete games and 3 9-inning shutouts, while also winning 20 games, good enough to win the Cy Young Award. Dickey received 27 of the 32 first-place votes in the process. Dickey was the first and only knuckleballer to win the award, and the 3rd Met with Tom Seaver and Doc Gooden, now also joined with Jacob deGrom. It was a magical season for the 37-year-old wonder, as his career was full of lows. The guy who was drafted in the 1st round, but shortly had his career in doubt and had to make a full adaptation and change his approach to pitcher with a near impossible pitch. Sounds like an impossible story. In the 2012 offseason, Dickey was traded to the Blue Jays for prospects Noah Syndergaard, Travis d'Arnaud, and John Buck. He inked a 2-year, $25 million extension as well with the Blue Jays. His stint was relatively mediocre, especially after his 2012 Cy Young season, but he took home a Gold Glove in 2013. Nonetheless, Dickey was able to pitch until 2017 at age 42. He finished his career with the Atlanta Braves and even pitched in the World Baseball Classic back in 2013. R.A. Dickey had one of the most unlikely reigns of dominance in MLB history. His ability to master knuckleball made his career and earned him millions of dollars, as well as ultimately winning him over with the fans. From 2011 to 2015, he was the only pitcher in Major League Baseball who pitched over 208 innings per season and was 4th in total innings in that stretch behind these 3 pitchers. His ability to consistently churn out innings and allow soft contact was something truly special. The knuckleball allowed him to pitch even with his elbow issues, as he pitched in 30-plus games every season from 2011 to 2017, the only pitcher to do so outside of Max Scherzer and John Lester. Since Dickey's retired, we have not seen another throw at the knuckleball, and we probably won't see another one ever again. With baseball today being so reliant on pitcher velocity, a knuckleball breakout seems as unlikely as ever. Dickey put together one of the most fascinating runs ever seen, and his roller coaster ride of a career shows the true character of R.A. Dickey. Dickey wrote a handful of children's books as well as his own memoir. In his memoir, Wherever I Wind Up, My Quest for Truth, Audacity, and the Perfect Knuckleball, he also discussed his troubled upbringing due to his parents' poor relationship, which led to suicidal thoughts, and the unfortunate sexual abuse he lived through. With nearly everything against him, Dickey was able to overcome the adversity and not just pitch at the major league level, but accomplish the greatest feat a starting pitcher can receive in the regular season, the Cy Young Award. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of R.A. Dickey's run and what you want to see in future videos. R.A. Dickey is someone that I was always fascinated with growing up, and learning his story really just showed me the true character and perseverance of R.A. Dickey, as well as all the praise he got off the field. Like, comment, subscribe, as well as check out our Instagram and TikToks. Until next time, I'll keep stirring that pot, and have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.